Hi guys, my name is Davis. I'm Chief Designer of Adro. I take care of all the products that are designed in Adro. For me, design is being beautiful naturally. You shouldn't force it. And I think that beauty comes from the last 2%, not giving up till the very end. And hopefully it shows in our products. And our goal is to make the most beautiful and functional hypercar in the world. We love to dream big, we love cars, and we want to make something that everybody, from a kid to an 80-year-old person, they just look at the car and stare at it for like an hour. That's my goal as a designer.
Hey, I'm here at Adro, and this is a company that I was really excited to see up close because I found out about their design, especially around the BMW M4, maybe like a year ago, and I was kind of like impressed with what they came up with. Finally, somebody had fixed that, I don't know, overly aggressive grille on the bumper of the M cars. And I've been kind of following them on Instagram and social media in general, just to kind of see what else they do for other cars. And surprised to see them at Tokyo Auto Salon this year. And they have this booth showing off their products, starting off with their wide body Supra here. And of course, the car that pretty much started it all for me when it comes to kind of discovering their brand, the BMW M4 bumper, which basically takes that grille, makes it a little bit smaller, but most importantly of all, lowers it down and kind of brings it more forward. So it's actually a longer bumper design, and I feel it just changes the whole design of the car so much, improving it tremendously. This is actually the wide body version. As you can see, it progresses onto some wide body over fenders here, whole one-piece fender design, crazy carbon skirts all the way across to the rear fenders, and a ton of carbon fiber. There's like various options you can specify. You can finish it off with as much carbon as you want, and a twin element wing here with that additional blade. So with the Supra, the design is not as dramatically different as the stock car. There is a little bit of a different profile up front. But again, you know, it's a recognizable Supra, not as crazy as the M4 conversion. Although they have gone pretty heavy on the wide body for the Supra as well. And cool to see them do a Japanese car as well. Like, they have become known for BMWs, but they actually did a kit for the GR86 a year or two back. But I think for this year, the car that really will stop a lot of people in their tracks is their new release based around the 992 GT3. They've just announced this, and this is the first time the crowds get to see it. It's basically a really nice evolution where the GT3 starts, kind of refinishing and perfecting what is there when it comes to aero. There's a carbon fiber section in the front bumper. It flows onto a slightly wider and more protruding side skirt, and then ending up in a crazy rear here with the more pronounced diffuser, which actually goes all the way down towards the middle of the car. So it's very, very much functional. Everything is CFD designed, so they know that the improvement in aerodynamics has gone up 30%, and I do love the way that this GT3 RS inspired rear wing looks with the matte carbon. Got the nice treated aluminum stays, and one thing that really is impressive is the way that the carbon kind of flows into the aluminum stays. So the progression from composites to metal. All right, well, thank you for sitting down with me. I really want to kind of understand where the company came from,
Uh-huh.
your role within the company, and kind of break down what you guys have done so far and potentially where you're going. And you know, like I mentioned, I really did find out about you guys with this M4 bumper redesign, which I think transforms the entire car. So let's start talking like about the company itself, like where it was born, how it came to be, and kind of understanding where you guys are coming from.
For sure. So Adro was founded about 5 years ago. The mission was to, my brother-in-law and a friend of mine actually founded Adro. The mission was to actually, they wanted to build cars.
Right.
So that was the dream. And they started with the aftermarket company because of the manufacturing and everything. And then I joined Adro about 3 years ago because my brother-in-law wanted me to come. I was a designer at OEM for 11 years. I joined Adro 3 years ago. And I don't know, I mean, what kind of a designer can reject a dream of making a car on your own, right? And I love the challenge of doing something impossible and starting with aftermarket. Because what I see of a failure of like big electric car companies, they start from scratch. It doesn't happen that way. You need to build up your manufacturing process and then start building a car. And that's what I really liked.
Yeah.
So Adro started off with carbon fiber parts for cars, which is fairly easier to make than entire car. And then the next step was, what you see here is a bumper. This bumper actually is a plastic mold injection bumper made exactly like the OEM bumpers.
So no FRP.
No FRP.
Same quality as OEM.
Same quality, just like the OEM plastic.
Yeah.
And what's required with that is huge amount of engineering. Because first of all, the steel mold is humongous. It is expensive. You only get a couple shots. You can't do it with your hand. Everything has to be machined.
Yeah.
And if you look at the bumper, it's not only the outer. There's inner bumper. There's sensor holders. All these
So you
different
gotta hold up all the electronic
pieces are
parts.
made out of plastic.
Yeah.
And it all had to be engineered. So it clicks in there, everything. So, and all the OEM parts, same mounting points. So it's a direct replacement. And that was a lot of challenge.
Yeah.
Now, we were pretty confident with the bumper. Our next goal, of course, then doing the wide body. And then possibly doing a complete car like Singer, you know, Resto Mod.
Resto mods, yeah.
And then after that, we want to build a hypercar. You know?
Wow.
That's the ambition.
That's quite the timeline you guys are in front of.
It is.
But I mean, what you've done so far, I think, for a 3-year-old company is impressive. You know, I discovered you guys through the redesign here of the M4 bumper. And I don't know, from your perspective as a designer, what was wrong fundamentally with the actual OEM design of the grille?
Yes.
Because, you know, as soon as that first grille came out, everybody's like, oh my God, what is BMW up to?
Yeah, so for me, design, it has to look fundamentally correct. Like if you look at a face, the nose usually, or 99% of the time, is lower than your eyes, right? That's what makes it natural.
Yeah.
But for me, the G82, G80, when it first came out, the grille was sitting on top of the eye. So the grille was sitting actually over here. And then it looks so natural. People are saying, oh, it looks like a beaver teeth or whatever, but it's not the verticality of it, it's the placement of the grille being so high, so it looks out of place. So just by lowering the top of the grille adjacent to the headlamps, makes it look much more natural.
Because it's not actually that much smaller.
It's not that much smaller. I mean, it was here, we put it down.
Yeah.
But by pushing it down, you extend the surface, so this actually became longer. So the original grille is there, and now it's longer. We wanted to give that a little bit of a shark nose feel.
Make it a little bit.
Exactly, make it longer. For me, rear-wheel drive, the length of the hood determines the luxury or the rear-wheel drive proportion of the car.
Right.
So we wanted to get the hood as long looking as possible.
Yeah.
So, and also homage to the sharp nose BMWs had. So it's way more aggressive and it's lower and longer.
And then all the detailing is done in carbon fiber.
Yes, actually our bumper is plastic mold injection plastic grills, but these are a carbon option we can add on to. Of
Okay,
course,
so it's all optional.
it's an option. Of course,
Right.
we put this because it's our ultimate wide body high end.
Yeah.
So these are add-on carbon fibers.
And then from the M4, you flowed on to what? Was this your first Japanese car, the Supra?
We actually worked on a GR86 wide body,
Right. Okay.
but the bumper was FRP. It wasn't plastic mold injection. But this Supra is the first Japanese car that we did a plastic mold injection bumper and a wide body.
Right. And the progression took you all the way to maybe something you didn't expect to work on, the 992 GT3.
Yeah, that was the longest project of 2024. It took us 8 to 9 months.
Wow.
And of course, just by the looks, it doesn't look that different. But that was what we really wanted to do. Make it very subtle, but different.
But did you guys have like requests from customers wanting something for the 992? Is that something that came internally?
No, we were just sitting down and thinking, what is our ultimate dream car?
Yeah.
And 992 GT3 was the perfect spot. It's one of the last natural aspirated engine. And the car is beautiful on its own. And we just wanted to do something special with the GT3.
And you kind of followed the Porsche way of doing things.
Yes.
Small refinements,
Exactly.
evolution.
Exactly.
But like we were talking about before, you use CFD to kind of make sure that what you're doing
Correct.
has a functional
Yes.
approach as well, right?
It's so important and crucial in a perfectly balanced car like this. You don't want to destroy the balance. Balance is almost everything on a car like this. Of course, our wing is a dual element high-rise wing, and a wing like that would completely destroy the balance between the rear and the front. So the front, we had to come out even further to compensate that to get the right balance.
Yeah.
And that was a big challenge.
So is the balance equivalent to what the stock car would be? Just
Yes, it's equivalent.
and you have increased downforce.
30.2% more downforce.
30.2.
Yes.
Wow. And drag.
Drag 1.52 more drag, so it's almost the same.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And basically from here on, you're saying you really want to push to creating your own cars.
Yes. Yes. That's the ambition. If Adro decides not to make cars, I would be out any moment. And that's how serious I want to take it. And I believe there's a big potential.
Well, as long as you keep improving what other manufacturers are doing, I think you'll keep a lot of people happy.
For
So
sure.
Good luck with the
For
future,
sure.
and thanks for chatting to us today.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.